Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ariel and I make videos about books. So it is officially autumn, and I consider autumn to like really get going in October. September, I feel like, is such a transitional weird month where I don't know when to change out my summer wardrobe to fall, and the leaves aren't quite changing color, and it's just a confusing time. But October, like, you know it's fall, and it's spooky, and it's fun, and it's great, and I love October. So today's video, October TBR, is extra exciting. I love this month for reading. It's probably one of my top favorite months, as I feel like a lot of people feel that way, because it's great for mood reading. And there are so many great fall, spooky, and like comforting books to read at this time. So I'm very excited to do this. First, we're gonna start with the physical copies of books that I want to read this month. So first, a big one, The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This is massive, as you guys know. This is probably gonna take me like the whole month. I'll probably read this along with something else because it's gonna take a while. But I'm very excited about it. I have owned this since like last year, and I need to just read it because I know I am only going to read it in the fall. There's no chance I'm going to pick this up in like the summertime. So we really only have a like 2-month window to read this. I might read it in the winter, but I kind of just want to force myself to read it this fall. So that is the first one. You guys probably know what this is about. I'm not gonna like go too in depth with that, but yeah, I am nervous but excited. Then I have another book that I have had for far too long. I got this, it's a book of the month, so like I know when I got this, and it was in May of this year, and that is Darling Girl. This is a Peter Pan kind of retelling spin-off that I think follows like a granddaughter of Wendy. Yes, it's following her, and it's like different, and it takes place in the present, and it explores the dark underpinnings of fairy tales. Okay, cool. And yeah, it seems fun. I've been into fantasy lately, so I feel like this is the perfect time to actually get to this and read it. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for it. Then I have Verity by Colleen Hoover. I was about to say a love-hate, but it's primarily a hate relationship with Colleen Hoover. I am not the biggest fan of her books. I've really only liked one book that I've read from her. Not that I've read a bunch. I've only read like 3 or 4 books. Yeah, I've read November 9, Regretting You, something else, and then Layla. And the only one I liked was Layla, which is very weird because no one likes that book, but that was the only one that I like. And so I'm scared to read this, but also like everybody raves about it, and this one is kind of like more of a thriller than a romance. I think it has like romance in it, but it is very thriller heavy, which makes me think I will probably like it, because Layla wasn't a thriller, but there were definitely like mystery elements that I liked. So I'm thinking maybe that is where I will like Colleen Hoover, is through the thriller and mystery kind of books. Then I have the second book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, Good Girl, Bad Blood. And I read Good Girl's Guide to Murder like last spring, and then I never picked up the second one, which is a common theme for me to do. I'm so bad with series and like continuing them, even when I like them, because I did really like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but I just never picked it back up. So I think now is, again, the perfect time to read a book like this. So yes, and it's young adult, it's very fast and easy to get through. So I have no reason not to read this. This one has been sitting on my shelf for far too long, and I don't know why, because it, I think, has the most interesting premise of the books that I own, or one of the most interesting, but yet I am not gravitating towards it. And that is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. This was super popular either last year or the year before, and I never read it. And so now I want to read it. It's about this woman who keeps dying, like girl, and she dies and then like inhabits a different body when she comes back alive. And she keeps dying like day after day, and it's this man has to save her, so he has to like figure out what body she's in and then like how to save her, or he shows up in a different body and then someone has to save Evelyn, and she keeps dying 7.5 times. Evelyn Hardcastle will die every day until Aidan Bishop can identify her killer and break the cycle. But every time the day begins again, Aidan wakes up in the body of a different guest, and some of his hosts are more helpful than others. So yeah, like, it sounds very, very interesting, and I just have not picked it up. So I definitely want to get to that. Then I have the third book in the Dark Olympus series, Wicked Beauty, and I have heard so many good things about this. I feel like people liked this one more than the previous two, which is insane because the first one was so good. The second one was okay, but like still beautiful because it's Katie Roberts. Her writing is so good. But this one follows 3 characters, a little throuple, which is so fun. I feel like I definitely have never read a romance book following a throuple, so I'm excited to see how that goes, the dynamics. I can't wait. It follows Helen, who we meet in the second book. I was wondering how she would rope into this, because, you know, she's like Roman, right? Like, that's not, she's a part, is she even a myth? I feel like Helen's real, right? Like the gods are like a myth, but then Helen's like a real person, right? I don't know, but we meet Helen in the second book, so we know how she connects to the world. And yeah, I'm so excited for this. I will probably get to this within the first week of October. Then I have Anatomy, a Love Story, and I definitely bought this book for the cover alone. I bought this a while ago, again in like spring. I don't know what I was thinking, getting all of these like gothic mystery and like fall time books in the spring, but I was, and so I have them piling up on my shelves. And I forgot what this book is about. I know I started it in the spring and I was like, I can't get into this right now. So I think it will hit different in the fall time. So this is following a girl, this is a young adult novel, and it's following this girl who wants to be a physician, but the professor in charge of the little like anatomy class is like, no, you're a woman, you can't be a physician, get out. But then he's like, okay, if you pass my final exam without even attending my course, then we can talk. And it's set in like the 1800s, so that's why he's being misogynistic. So she decides to dig up cadavers and operate on them to learn about anatomy. Then I have Love in the Time of Serial Killers. am so excited for this one. First of all, the cover. I feel like everyone has talked about the cover. Stunning, gorgeous, amazing. I don't know the plot of this really at all, just that it is a romance book and the main character is like obsessed with true crime and thinks that her neighbor is a serial killer. So that's fun. I haven't really heard the best things about this, but I have been on such a romance kick this summer, and I feel like a lot of romances are hard to read in other times of the year outside of summer for me for some reason. So this gives a little like, not spooky, but like fall murdery vibes, you know, to a typical romance. I tried to explain that to my boyfriend and he was like, that makes no sense. And I'm like, well, you're not a reader. You don't understand. He reads occasionally, but not as much as psychotic me. Next is Dark Matter, an insane cover again. And this book I had heard talked about a while ago, and I saw it in Barnes & Noble for buy one get one half off, and I was like, let's do it. So this is about a man who gets kidnapped and he's asked, are you happy with your life? And then he wakes up in like, he's still the same man, but he's in a new world with new people, and he's like, where's my wife? Where are my kids? Where's my house? What is this? New life. And so he has to like reckon with which is the real life for him. Which one does he want to stay in? I think it's kind of that. And it's kind of thrillery, but also kind of seems like just like general fiction. And I'm very excited. It feels very fall. Very, just that cover feels fall. Then I have another romance that is fall themed, The Kiss Curse. I am very excited for this because it is the follow-up to the X-Hex. This book is so short, it's 306 pages. I love that, and the words are big. Exciting. I'll probably read this like literally on Halloween. I think that'd be fun. And yeah, anyway, the X-Hex, I loved the vibes. The vibes were so good. The plot, not so much. But the vibes were out of this world. They felt like Halloween Town, and it was just such a cozy, like nice little cutesy read. So I'm hoping for the same kind of vibes from this one. It kind of sounds very similar. And we're on to the last physical book, which is another fall romance. I'm just having a bunch of fall romances now. And this is The Dead Romantics. And I, again, know nothing about this. I think it involves a ghost love interest, which we know from the fact that I only liked Layla. I love a little ghost love interest. So if that is true, then I'm excited. And I've heard that this is like amazing and everyone has raved about it. So I am very, very excited for that. And it's got a matte cover that feels very good. So those are the physical books. Again, far too many. I'll probably split this between October and November, but we're just labeling this as an October TBR. And then I have my Kindle books because I have Kindle Unlimited and I've kind of pushed it aside. So first we have, I'll stick with the romance. We have Accidentally Amy, which is by Lynn Painter, the author of Better Than the Movies, which I own that and I have not read it. It's literally right there. But I've heard that her writing is really good, and this is a short little like novella, and it literally, just the cover is screaming fall. It involves like the main character the book starts out with her like ordering a pumpkin spice latte. So, a woman of my heart, another basic girly. I'm excited to explore her love story. Then we have Wonderland by Jennifer Hillier, and it's a short little book. It's called Wonderland. I already said that and you can see it there, but it takes place in an amusement park and spooky stuff happens. I don't really remember a lot from it, but yes, it's on Kindle Unlimited. Then we have another spooky book, and that is Camp Slaughter, and it's very like typical kids go out to the woods and get murdered. And I feel like I just need that in my life right now. I need a little like just classic horror, straight up horror book. So we have that. Then lastly, we have If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio, and this is another very hyped up book. It's dark academia, and it involves these kids doing a Shakespeare play and then someone actually dies. And that premise does not really intrigue me in. I'm not a big Shakespeare girly, but this is just one of those books that's so hyped up that I need to read it. And I feel like it would be perfect for fall. So that is the video for today. A long TBR. I will 100% not get to these, and probably will not post a November TBR because it's probably just gonna be me working through these for October and November. So yeah, it's more of a fall TBR, but take it as you will. I'll probably label this video as October, and now I'm just rambling to myself. So yes, thank you for watching, and let me know if you like any of these books. If you have any more recommendations for me, let me know. I'll talk to you guys later, and have a good rest of your day. Bye.